It began on a quiet night. March 24th, 1946. Texarkana, a small border town split between Texas and Arkansas, was finally starting to breathe again after the war. Men were coming home, families were rebuilding, and kids were cruising down dusty roads in borrowed cars. The air smelled like spring and gasoline. But that night, the peace shattered, and Texarkana would never sleep the same again. Two young people, Jimmy Hollis, 25, and his girlfriend Mary Jean Larry, 19, were driving home from a double date. It was close to midnight. They pulled off on a quiet dirt road, what locals called a lover's lane. It was a place couples went for privacy, away from prying eyes. The car was parked just a few hundred yards from Richmond Road. Moments later, headlights appeared behind them. A car pulled up and stopped. At first, they thought it was a friend, maybe a police officer telling them to move along. But the man who stepped out was not a cop. He wore a white cloth mask with holes crudely cut for eyes and a mouth. He carried a .32 caliber pistol. He ordered them both out of the car. Jimmy tried to reason with him, told him they didn't have any money. The man said, "You don't need money." Then he beat Jimmy in the head with the pistol so hard the skull fractured. The masked man turned to Mary Jean, ordering her to run. She sprinted barefoot through the dark, but he caught her and assaulted her brutally with the barrel of the gun. She survived. Jimmy survived too, but neither could describe his face. Only that he was tall, wore a white sack, and spoke with a deep, chilling voice. The first attack of the Phantom Killer. 3 weeks later, the second strike came. March 24th, 1946. Richard Griffin, 29, and Polly and Moore, 17, were found dead inside Griffin's 1941 Oldsmobile, parked near a remote dirt road just south of town. The windows were rolled up, the doors locked. Both shot in the back of the head with a .32 caliber pistol, the same gun used in the first attack. Polly had been tied up before being shot. Blood soaked the ground beneath the car, meaning they were killed outside and then placed back in. There were no witnesses, no fingerprints, nothing but tire tracks and fear. The newspapers didn't hold back. Headlines screamed, "Phantom Slayer strikes again." And just like that, the name stuck, the Phantom Killer. Then, another tragedy struck on April 14th, 1946. 16-year-old Paul Martin picked up his 15-year-old friend, Betty Jo Booker, after her performance at the VFW Club in Texarkana. They were last seen around 1:30 a.m. By 6:30 a.m., Paul's body was discovered near North Park Road, lying on its left side. He had been shot 4 times, through the nose, through the ribs from behind in the right hand, and through the back of the neck. Betty Jo's body was found approximately 2 miles away, behind a tree, fully clothed, with her right hand tucked into her overcoat pocket. She had been shot twice, once through the chest and once in the face. Both victims had put up a fierce struggle. The same .32 caliber Colt pistol was used in this double murder as in the previous one. Paul's car was found about 3 miles from Betty Jo's body and 1.55 miles from his own. It was parked outside Spring Lake Park, with the keys still in the ignition. Authorities were uncertain who was shot first. This brutal double murder sent shockwaves through the community, marking a significant escalation in the Phantom Killer's reign of terror. By May, panic had gripped Texarkana. Stores sold out of locks, guns, and ammunition. Farmers nailed their doors shut. People started sleeping with rifles across their laps. Then came the third attack. May 3rd, 1946. A 36-year-old man named Virgil Starks sat in his farmhouse about 10 miles outside town. His wife Katie was in the next room, reading the newspaper. Virgil sat in his armchair, listening to the radio. The house was quiet, peaceful, until a single shot rang out, then another. Both bullets came through the window, straight into Virgil's head. He died instantly. Katie ran to him, then saw movement outside. Another shot shattered the glass, hitting her in the face. But she didn't stop. Bleeding and half-blinded, she ran through the house, trying to call police. The line was dead. The killer had cut it. Katie escaped out the back, running barefoot through the dark, covered in blood, until she reached a neighbor's home half a mile away. She survived. Barely. Sheriffs arrived minutes later, but the phantom had already vanished into the woods. Only his footprints remained, size 10 men's shoe prints, leading off into the darkness. Now the town was in full hysteria. People stopped going out after dark. Windows were covered with sheets. Bars closed early. Even the police started patrolling in pairs. The killer seemed to strike under one rule: when the moon was bright. Locals started calling it the Moonlight Murders. Authorities brought in Texas Ranger Captain Manuel Lone Wolf Gonzalez, a hard-edged legend known for tracking down outlaws and killers. His message to the town was simple: Texarkana is my town now. The phantom is not invincible. But despite massive roadblocks, curfews, and manhunts, the killer stayed one step ahead. He left no shell casings, no witnesses, no fingerprints. Every time police got close, the phantom seemed to disappear, like smoke in the moonlight. Weeks turned into months. Then the killings stopped. Just stopped. No more bodies. No more attacks. No goodbye. The phantom killer had vanished. And no one ever knew why. Suspects. There were plenty. The main one, Yowell Swinney, a petty car thief and ex-con who matched the phantom's description. His wife told police he was responsible for the murders, describing the scenes with chilling accuracy. But then she recanted, saying she'd made it all up. Police still charged him with auto theft and sent him to prison. He served time, but never for murder. When asked about the killings years later, a Texas Ranger said, if Swinney wasn't the phantom, then the phantom was a twin. But there was never enough evidence to prove it. No weapon, no confession, no link that would hold in court. After 1946, rumors spread faster than truth. Some swore the phantom was a soldier who'd returned from war, broken and violent. Others claimed he was a local man, someone they'd see at the grocery store by day, a ghost in the woods by night. One theory said he left Texarkana after the heat got too close. Another said he died quietly somewhere and took his secret with him. But the scariest theory? He never left. Over the decades, the Moonlight Murders became part of local folklore. Parents warned their kids not to park on dark roads. Older folks swore they could still hear footsteps outside on clear nights. And every so often, someone claimed to see a tall man in a white mask standing at the edge of the woods, watching. Even the film, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, released in 1976, kept the story alive, half documentary, half nightmare. Ironically, when the film played in Texarkana, the drive-in theater where it premiered was less than a mile from one of the real murder scenes. That night, police cars lined the lot, guarding the audience, because even 30 years later, people were still afraid he might come back. The Phantom Killer remains one of America's most chilling unsolved serial cases. 5 dead, 3 survivors, countless suspects, and no answers. No fingerprints, no face, no name. He attacked couples. He stalked from the shadows. He struck under the moonlight. And just as suddenly as he appeared, he vanished. Some say he stopped killing. Others believe he never stopped. That he just changed towns, changed names, changed faces. That somewhere, under another moon, another car is parked on a lonely dirt road, and another masked man is watching. If you ever find yourself driving through Texarkana late at night, don't stop. Don't pull over. And if you see headlights behind you that suddenly go dark, keep driving. Because he was never caught. He could still be out there, waiting for the next full moon. The Phantom Killer's story is a reminder that some ghosts never die. They just hide behind masks and memories. If you want to hear more true stories that the world wishes would stay buried, then subscribe. Because the next time the moonlight hits your window, it might not just be the wind. It might be him